Jeremy, how we doing on a Monday?
Not so hot after watching Saturday.
Yeah, not good. A sobering night to be an LSU fan as Kentucky absolutely laid LSU to waste. The final score was 42-21. It was not nearly that close, 35-7. Probably more representative of things as Kentucky got the things rolling in the second half, and LSU simply had no answer. Statistically, it looked like the run game got going. Did it? Not really. LSU ran for 2.5 yards a carry in the first half, and then racked up some yards late when Kentucky had a 28-point lead and was backing up a little bit. The Tiger defense was not able to hold Kentucky at all on the ground or through the air. They succumbed to the environment, the scheme of the other team, and were simply outclassed in every aspect of the football game on Saturday. And it's a sobering feeling just to wake up on Sunday and then again today and look at where LSU's football team is right now. It's a dark place.
Man, I would have never expected this. I know we pumped a lot of sunshine and rainbows into this team preseason, and a lot of the issues and concern we had before, it's starting to rear its ugly head week in and week out. And you're starting to really see that on a national television display. Just having the other team rush for 330 yards down your throat. I said it best, especially after watching us perform against Auburn. I thought we'd be able to slow down their run game. They did whatever they wanted in the run game, and it allowed Levis to only throw 17 passes and then to win that game in comfortable fashion. So I think for us, the run fits have to be a lot better. We just put our linebackers in impossible situations with guards just getting up to them on the second level time and time again. Got to be a lot more stout on those double teams. And, man, we're back to giving up blown coverages again. So it's kind of like right where we picked up after the UCLA game. I thought a lot of those things were fixed. Rodriguez just has a walk-in touchdown where it looks like we're in man-to-man coverage, but no one guards him. It's just all of these things that you think you would have fixed. The coaching just has to be better.
What surprised you the most on Saturday?
I think just Max. I thought Max would be a lot better going into the season. Just hasn't been able to hit those deep balls. You saw Malik Neighbors, a guy we've been talking all about, go make an incredible play. But when you have opportunities to have guys running wide open down the field, especially in hostile road environments, those type of plays, take the game away from the other team. It takes away the momentum. It gives you the juice and the swag that you need to go out on the road and quiet that environment. And I think, it got a little rattle. Obviously, the strip sack to start the game, that'll do it to you. And just a couple throws, man. The fourth down throw to Jack, you got to put that on his upfield shoulder, give him a chance. Miss Jack up the seam, miss Trey Palmer deep. Just a ton of plays where you if you get those plays, you can possibly feel a lot different about how this game flow would go, but we're not hitting on them. So that just makes your job, you have to play perfect almost.
He's been a guy we've talked about. He's been put in an adverse situation essentially the entire season because of the way the running game's played, the offensive line has played. It's just been a tough spot for him, and we've praised him and said, given the circumstances, what he's been given, he's done a really nice job. He was not very good on Saturday. There's no other way to put it. You mentioned the throws. He's got Besh up the seam, and they're at his feet, and he sails a little bit. The deep ball has not been accurate. You mentioned the fourth down play to Besh. Is the call very good? Probably not. Was the organization very good? No, it wasn't. They had a call they wanted to go to, and he spiked it in the ground and gave Besh no chance. So, yeah, Max did not have his best game, and it happens. I still think he's a pretty good player. I think he's going to have a good career at LSU, but he was not great. On Saturday. The thing that surprised me the most is that Kentucky just ran it right down LSU's throat. And it's not unlike what we saw against UCLA, but we thought that things had gotten better. And maybe it's the fact that depth starting to wane with Andre Anthony gone, with Glenn Logan still not playing. Obviously, you play without Joseph Evans, and you've got some depth issues there. But, man, the stat Jacob Hester gave today was remarkable. Kentucky averaged 6 yards before contact on the ground. You're giving the leading rusher in the conference a 6-yard start before you contact him. And we've given LSU statistics all year about how they're getting contacted at the line of scrimmage or behind it more often than not. 6 yards before you touch anybody on average. That is hard to believe.
Man, as a running back, you lift your chops with numbers like that. It just makes your job easy. You can pretty much have a head of steam, ton of momentum just getting to the second level time and time again, and that's what you saw. Our safeties were put in impossible positions to make open field tackles. The backs are just running through the line of scrimmage, pretty much doing whatever they wanted. It never felt like, especially going down 14-0, the offense really couldn't get going in the first half. It never felt like we were in that game, especially when they came out in the second half and scored that touchdown. It just felt like it was going to be very, very tough to win that football game. And that's never the feelings you have for our LSU program that's had the success we've had over the past 2 decades, and the ton of talent that we have, the ton of guys that are going to play in the NFL that are on this current roster. You just think those things are just impossible, but you see Kentucky run it down our throats, control that game, and really just play a dominant brand of football against us.
They did, and that's one thing. Another thing that surprised me, because LSU, we didn't know, but we asked the question whether or not LSU got tired against Mississippi State when they scored the last 2 touchdowns. If Auburn thing late, they maybe fatigue played a factor as Auburn was able to break through what had been a pretty stout defense. In both situations, LSU had played really well through a few quarters and then got beat late. This one, your defense gives up 2 early touchdowns on the first 2 drives, but then they hold Kentucky and make them punt a couple of times and keep you in the game while your offense is sputtering and can't do anything. Then you come out of the break. Kentucky goes 7 plays, 75 yards, touchdown. They get the ball back. They go 10 plays, 75 yards, touchdown. And they get the ball back, go 3 plays, 56 yards, touchdown. That right there is 206 yards on 3 drives for 3 touchdowns, where they came out again after halftime, made some adjustments, got some things called, and you had no answer. That's disappointing.
Yeah, no answer at all. And I think another alarming stat is you hold a team 2 for 7 on 3rd down. You think you'd be in great position to get some extra possessions, move the ball. You still got dominated. That means they're just gashing you on 1st and 2nd down, run the ball whenever they wanted to. Levis was using his legs. Now you're going to see that all year long. Teams are going to scratch where it itches, and right now we can't stop quarterbacks when they pull the ball out in those read option plays, and they lull us to sleep with that, and then we're not paying attention to our keys, and we're allowing quarterbacks to just pull the ball out. Bo Nix scored last week doing that. You saw Levis do it again this week. So we're going to have to fix our run fits, because teams are going to continue to just run the same stuff we see week in and week out.
I guard against this because I think it's easy and at times, depending on the situation, lazy to just default to they came out flat, they weren't ready to play, the effort level wasn't there, they weren't given the championship level effort. That's sometimes, I think, sometimes you're just not good enough. Sometimes you don't give the right effort, and sometimes both things happen. But it's difficult for me to get inside people's minds and say, you're not giving full effort, you're not focused, because I don't know. But I said on the post-game show that I didn't think that it was a lack of effort, and both former players that were sitting in the room with me on the air looked at me and said, I can't look at that defense in the second half and say that they gave a championship-level effort. What did you think of the effort level of the team on Saturday night?
Man, like I said last week, you start losing these games, you start playing the way we do. You start the game, I said we have to start fast. You don't start fast. Those little seeps, those doubts, those man, we're going to lose this game again. All those little demons start to creep in your head, and you see that with this team. You don't play with that fire like those LSU defenses of old see, and I hate to use these type of words and cliches, but it's just not happening, and we're not having the proper run fits. Guys aren't flying to the quarterback. Our pass rush just wasn't there. Kentucky just dominated us up front on both sides of the ball, and when that happens, it demoralizes you as a football team. So it's hard to go out there and play with swagger and play with confidence when their backs just rushing for 15 and 16 yards a carry. When they get it, just busting to the second level. It's hard to play with that swag. So it goes back to the coaching. Like I said, we're going to have to start coaching these guys up, getting them in better position to make plays, because time and time again, you're seeing terrible run fits. You're seeing guys running wide open downfield on defense, and offense, you see free rushers just rushing. They only rushed forward when Max had that strip sack.
Yeah.
You got to find a way to pass that off, right? The back's picking up the second guy, the tackle's rotating back and picking that guy up, but that stuff is exactly why you see we're getting beat. You can't have that. The great football teams, those things don't happen to. They make you earn it the hard way, and teams are just getting easy stuff on us right now.